Hello, Dr. Joe here of the drjoe.com and the 2020forum.com. So today's video is about sustainable fat loss in the long term while still eating your favorite foods. And the key word there is sustainable. I'm going to be telling you about what I consider to be the best fat loss hack out there that you hardly hear about. But it works, and it works like crazy. Now you're going to hear about it right here on this channel. Now the way this video is going to work is I'm going to talk about the background behind this fat loss hack, and then I'll proceed to talk to you about the underlying principle, and then from then on I'll give you a live demonstration of how this fat loss hack actually works in practice, and this will be followed by a 12-week plan that you can follow. So for that reason, this video is going to be long. If you're somebody who looks for very short videos, then of course this video is not for you. This is about doing things in the long term, sustainable. We don't want any short-term fix. So what's the main problem with most diets out there? Well, it is that they are overly restrictive, which means you tend to get these short-term results, and then what happens is you start missing your favorite foods. Because you love them so much, you go back to them, start eating them, you put the weight back on, and then you're back to square one in about 6 months. So what's the solution? Can we do things a little bit differently? Of course we can. But before we proceed to the rest of the presentation, let's talk about those problem foods, those naughty foods that tend to cause us some of these problems. So here they are.
So here is what we know. We know that the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey data tells us that 58.5% of calories consumed in the US are coming from ultra-processed foods, such as cookies, pizzas, chocolate, ice cream, French fries, cakes, candy, sodas, cheeseburger, and cheese.
So as you can see from that clip, over half of our calories are actually coming from those naughty foods. And why is that? Well, it's because they are so irresistible. And why are they irresistible? Well, it's because someone is actually paid to design those foods to be so. They're designed to be hyper palatable. Yes, hyper palatable. That's why they're so tasty, and that's why you keep going back to them over and over again. So it's not your fault. Now I'll tell you a story. I was watching the TV program My 600-Pound Life the other day. You may be familiar with that program. And what tends to happen is that those patients are being prepared for weight loss surgery. But what the bariatric surgeons tend to do is they give those patients a target for them to meet. So they have to lose a specific amount of weight before undergoing surgery, which is nice because they want them to fix their diet first of all before going on the operating table. They don't want the patients to think the surgery is the be-all and end-all. They also need to work on their diet. So they give them a specific target weight to meet before they undergo surgery. Now, if you're familiar with the program, you see that the patients, they tend to struggle with that target that the doctor set for them. They lose some weight and then they gain it, and then they lose some weight and then they gain it, and on it goes for months before they're able to meet their target weight. And some of them just cannot meet their target weight at all. And I remember one of the patients saying, well, my problem is that I keep going back to those my favorite foods. I love them so much, I cannot resist them. So you might not be obese just like those patients, but I'm sure you can relate to that. So, can we do things differently? Yes, we can. And that is the principle that we're going to be talking about here. And the principle is all about adding rather than subtracting. Because with subtraction, we are usually taking away. And most diets tend to tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that. That is subtraction. But let's do things a little bit differently this time around. Let's add healthy foods to our naughty foods and see how that plays out. And it works, and it works brilliantly. It's kind of counterintuitive, but it does work. So what are we going to add?
So here's what we're going to do to lose fat. We are going to be adding more fruits to our diet. We're also going to be adding more vegetables. We're going to add more legumes, very, very important. And we're also going to add more wholesome whole grains. And we're also going to add more lean protein.
So it is a principle of adding first, and subtraction will take care of itself effortlessly. When you add first, you eat less. And when you eat less, your total calorie intake will go down on a daily basis. Now, here's the other thing about the adding first strategy. When you add first, you are not making wholesome changes to your diet, okay? And that's what makes this adding first strategy so attractive. And that's why it actually works as well, because it is very inclusive. So, how does it work? Well, here is how it works. So, this is scenario number one. And the fast food we're going to be talking about in scenario number one is pizza, okay? Pizza. So, I know you love your pizza and you don't want to give it up. And that's okay, okay? You can still have your pizza and also have a healthy food that will be supplying you with nutrients all at the same time. So, how are we going to go about that? Well, here is how we're going to go about it. In here, we got our ingredients for a green smoothie. So essentially, what you're going to be having is having your pizza with the green smoothie. How about that? How about that for a compromise? So let's go. Let's prepare our green smoothie. So it's all in here, and we're just ready to blitz. Okay. So, our green smoothie is ready, and we just need to pour it into a glass. There you go, nice and yummy. Okay, so, you know, life is full of compromises. You can have your pizza, I know you love it, but at the same time, you can also have your green smoothie. So you got healthy and junk food going alongside each other. Okay, this is scenario number one. So all you need to do is pick up your pizza slice, have a bite. After every bite, you have your green smoothie. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous taste. Have another bite. And then have another green smoothie. So the idea behind this principle is that you're going to have both meals. However, there is only so much room in your stomach. Okay, so the priority is going to be finishing the green smoothie. We need to finish this lot, okay, whilst we're eating the pizza. Now, by doing that, there is only so much room left in our stomach for the pizza, okay? You still eat the pizza, but by the time you finish drinking all of this smoothie, you can only have so much room left for the pizza. So in effect, you're going to be eating less of the pizza. So how is that for a compromise for healthy living, okay? So let's move on to scenario number two. So this is scenario number two, and in this scenario, we're just going to be making soup. Now, this very scenario is not so much about the soup recipe, okay? It's about how you can use soups to manage your weight whilst still eating junk food, okay? So we're going to see what we come up with at the end of our soup making process. So I like using the soup maker because this is one of the best investments that I've ever made. So essentially all you need to do is just chuck in the ingredients for the soup, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing now. Chuck that in. So this is a tomato soup, by the way. So soup ingredients are in the soup maker. So the next thing we're going to do is just connect our soup maker and plug it in. Choose our mode. And that's it. Soup is being made. So our soup is ready. Okay, the soup is ready. So it's still inside the soup maker. So what we're going to do is pour the soup into the soup maker. Sorry, into the plate we have to serve, okay? So we're serving the soup. So that's our nice soup here. And it's always a good idea when you make soups to add some solid elements to it. So here we've got some cucumber. So we're just going to add some cucumber to the soup. All of this healthy, okay? And then we got some radishes as well, okay? Give it a bit of color. Color is nice. So we've got some green. And we've got some purple from the radishes. Yeah. So we've got a nice soup here, ready to be munched. So, like I said, this is scenario number 2, and in scenario number 2, we're going to have the soup. This is tomato soup, just in case you've forgotten. Tomato soup. And what's our junk food? Well, if you cannot resist your junk food, these are Ritz cookies. They've got 100 grams of each. Where 100 grams of these cookies has got 62 grams of carbohydrates, of which 8.3 grams are made of sugar. Very little fiber, 2.2 grams. It's got some protein, 7.2 grams. Fat, 23 grams in 100 grams, okay? So all the combination is there. Of course, salt is 1.3, so it's got a combination of the salt, sugar, and fat, okay? So this qualifies as a junk food. So if you cannot do without your junk food, because that's the theme of this video, we have a healthy soup, nice tomato soup. We've got some cucumbers in there with some radishes. So you just go ahead. The soup is gorgeous, really, really tasty. Okay, so we have that. And then you can have that along with your junk cookies. Okay, this is your junk food. So there you go. Nice tasty soup, healthy, with more healthy additives like cucumber and radishes. So you got that alongside your junk food. You eat that, and gradually you see that the combination of the two, you don't get to miss this. Okay, that's the whole idea. You don't get to miss this because you have it alongside your healthy soup. So this is scenario number 2. We'll move on to scenario number 3. So this is scenario number 3. And remember, our eating plan is to add healthy to relatively unhealthy food, okay? So what's the fast food for scenario number 3? Well, it's here. It is donut. Yes, donut. So we're going to be having the donut alongside our healthy salad here. So I've got a fruit and veg salad here. So this is healthy added to fast food donut. So let's get into it. Okay, so that's the eating plan. So let's get into it. We're just going to add in some salad dressing, and then we will be well on our way. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so you have your nice salad, okay? Really tasty because of this dressing. And of course, we've got the fruits as well, so there is no doubt that you'll enjoy the salad, okay? What do we do next? We have our fast food. We have a donut. Oh, to be honest, I know you love your donut, but for heaven's sake, it's just too sweet. It is super sweet. And then we'll have some more salad. Okay? So what you want to do here is you finish your salad and then have some of your donuts. And what's going to happen is, as time goes on, you're going to be eating less and less of your fast foods. You know, less and less of your donuts, less and less of your pizzas, less and less of your cookies. And that is how the system evolves. Okay, this is how this eating plan works for you to lose fat. Okay, so finish your healthy food and then have your junk food on top of it. And as you can tell, there is only so much room in your stomach to accommodate both. Okay, so it's a very clever principle, but the most important feature here is that you don't feel denied, and because you don't feel denied of your fast foods, you don't miss them because they're readily available for you to eat alongside your healthy food. So how is that for a very clever compromise for you to lose fat? It's not a rapid fat loss, but you see yourself actually shedding the fat gradually over time. So what does doing things this way actually mean? Well, it means you don't need perfection to get results. No, your diet doesn't have to be perfect for you to lose the fat. So you might ask, what if I'm not getting results early enough? Well, you're in charge, okay? You're in charge. The option of subtraction is always there. It's not been taken away from you. You subtract as much as you want to. You are in charge. Now, another name for this principle is actually called crowding out. What it means is that you are adding the healthy foods to crowd out the unhealthy ones. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, like I said earlier on, because we're not looking to eliminate all of the unhealthy foods. We just want to be eating fewer amounts, okay? So the next question is, what should I be aiming for? Well, it's up to you. 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10. You decide, okay? Apply common sense. And the scale will actually tell you whether you're doing well or not and how much to subtract. So with that in mind, here is our 12-week plan.
So here's how our fat loss plan is going to flow and evolve over the 12 weeks. In week 1, we're going to start having the smoothies once a day. This will begin our consumption of the fruits and vegetables, like we said before, because we need to add more fruits, we need to add more vegetables. In week 2 to 3, we're going to have the smoothies twice a day. By doing this, we will be scaling up our consumption of our fruits and veg. Now, if you don't want to have the smoothie twice a day, you can have the smoothie in one meal and then salad later on in place of the second smoothie. And in this week 2 to 3, we are going to start our exercise program. It's going to be a gentle one. So we're just going to walk or jog 3 miles twice a week. Okay? We're not going to push it hard. Just walk or jog 3 miles twice a week. And then we'll move on to week 4 to 6. In week 4 to 6, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having the soup at least once a day. Okay, now the beauty of soups is that they're made from vegetables, and vegetables are energy light ingredients. They are energy light foods, so your soup is going to be energy light, which means you are going to be losing fat. There's no doubt about that, just like the smoothies as well. Okay, so you are going to be losing fat by having the soups at least once a day. Now we're going to increase our exercise program by walking or jogging 3 miles 4 times a week. So whereas in week 2 to 3 we're walking or jogging 3 miles twice a week, now we're going to do it 4 times a week. Okay, so it's all going well. And then we'll move on to week 7 to 9. In week 7 to 9, we're going to ensure we're having lean protein every day. So I've got all bases covered. Beans, peas, lentils, fish, eggs, and if you're a meat eater, have your meat. Okay, I've got all bases covered in the sense that if you're plant-based, you just have beans, peas, and lentils. If you're pescatarian, of course, you add fish and eggs. And if you're a carnivore, then go ahead, have meat. Okay, so we're just going to be doing this, like I said, is we're introducing habits gently over the 12-week period. And in this week 7 to 9, we are going to bump up the exercise program by now including weight training just twice a week. Okay, so this is week 7 to 9. We have to add weight training only twice a week. And then we move on to week 10 to 12. In these next 3 weeks, we're going to make sure that we are increasing our consumption of minimally processed whole foods. We have to increase the proportion of the minimally processed foods that we are eating. By so doing, we will be reducing the ultra processed foods. Okay, so like I said, it's a gentle thing. And also in this week 10 to 12, we will be adding weight training 4 times a week. So whereas in week 7 to 9 it was twice a week, now we're going to make it 4 times a week. So it's all about introducing habits slowly. We're not going to push it so that you don't become overwhelmed. Make little changes one step at a time over the 12-week period. That is how success comes about. That is how you're going to be losing the fat gradually. Remember, we're not in a hurry. We're not looking to lose 20 pounds of fat in 3 days. That is not our objective here. Our objective is sustainable fat loss over the long term. We're not looking for short-term fix. So we are going to be introducing healthy habits, and of course you can still have your ultra processed foods every now and again.
So here is one more tip for you. Eat slowly, okay? It might sound very simple, but well, this entire plan is all about simplicity. Anyway, so eat slowly, because eating slowly has actually been shown by research to help you manage your weight. So hopefully you got some value from this video. We're not looking for perfection here. We just want sustainable fat loss program that we can use over the long term. If you got some value from it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please like the video. And also, please share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues. I will appreciate that. Now, if you got any questions, any comments, please leave them down below as usual. And if you haven't joined us yet at the 2020 forum platform, please go ahead and join us there. There should be 2 videos on your screen now. Go ahead, click to watch any of the 2 videos. They are videos that are designed to help you take charge of your health. I think that's about it. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.